the District 4 schools, the district office. It's published on the district website. It's published in the local newspaper. And Lene, I would like to note that all board members are in attendance. So we start off with a consent agenda, and that is to review the board meeting minutes and closed session minutes from May 19th. Board members, you all have those in your packet. Are there any questions or comments? Nope. And they shall stand approved as presented. Next, we have the treasurer's report. John, would you like to comment on the treasurer's report?
As of May 31st, our bank balance at the Associated Bank was $5,757,179.03. And there were no questions that had come up out of P&F regarding any checks or anything like that.
Board members, any questions? No. Thank you, Don. Next is to confirm our July committee meeting and school board meeting dates, and I understand they're set for a committee meeting on July 14, and a board meeting on July 21. Anyone have any difficulty with that? No. Nope. Next is our administrators' reports. Start off with Mr. Yoke.
All right, good evening, everyone. The update for this month, first off, I want to give first reading, official notice of first reading for policy 341.1, which is the reading language arts philosophy policy. And the next month, of course, will be the second and final reading. Secondly, I'd like to thank and congratulate the Fox River 8th grade students who graduated at the beginning of the month. Mrs. Markle and the staff did a wonderful job as far as coordinating a special day for them. And a pretty packed house that night at graduation, so thank you to all those involved with that. The week after school was out, a number of teachers and the whole administrative team was involved in a number of seminars related to educator effectiveness, training, data review, so on and so forth, in preparation for that statewide initiative to kick off officially in August. As you know, I am on the Fund 73 OPEB advisory group with CISA 6. We had a semi-annual meeting last week via teleconference. The investment pool is doing very well, and the goal is to continue to expand the number of participants statewide with that. Also starting last week, the summer programs, whether it was the music programs with band and orchestra, or the recreation programs all started last week, and things are going very well. It's great to see the kids having a good time on our campus here, specifically at Fox River and Evergreen, with all the neat things we have going on. The last piece that I would just point out is that Tucker is going to keep its survey open this last week, one more week basically, and that survey was extended to employees as well as families regarding just ideas or feedback suggestions before we officially meet and they lay out the design of their program for next school year.
Chris, excuse me, on the policy 341.1.
Yes.
I just made a note if we could use bold type on the words philosophy, minimum frequency and duration, and goals.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hey, Chris, on Topper.
Yes.
That's a short one, isn't it? Huh? Guess I'll just pick it up. Oh, yeah, well, I shut me off on the one. The one's so short, I'm feeling active there. Anyways, on Topper, I would assume we're going back to much of the previous policies and/or lunch we had in place in the past years.
Right.
So the condiments will be back out there.
The intent is to bring back as many of the popular traditional recipes that they had in place.
Okay.
They wanted to reach out to parents to see if there's anything else that they wanted to see added. I mean, that was the intent of the
Okay.
survey.
I'm interested too in the condiment end because we really, when those changes came around, the condiments went away completely. Kids like dipping sauces, things like that. to do a sweet and sour, well, sweet and sour, or ranch or something.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Any other questions for Mr. Yoke? Kathy?
I just want to highlight two particular things. Mr. Yoke talked about the week of June 9th, there were a lot of things going on for teachers and administrators. We received a lot of feedback. The grade level teams met, different variety of teams met, and there's just too many people to acknowledge because there were so many people that stepped up to facilitate or organize things. So I just wanted to really applaud that and applaud the feedback I received from the teachers as well as the facilitators so that I can review that and use that as we move forward. And then the data retreat, which was on June 11th, 12th, and 13th, about 28 people from the district, one team for each building, reading teachers, math interventionists, counselors, classroom teachers, psychologists, people from special education, met and really worked on looking at the data in each school and setting a real clear school goal, which becomes the principal's SLO, but then in the educator effectiveness, it makes it easier for the teachers then to look at what their goal is beneath that. So I really applaud. It's hard at the end of the year to rev up for those kinds of things, but they did an excellent job. And then the other piece I just want to acknowledge a little further is the educator effectiveness piece. At this time of year, it's usually when principals or administrators take just a little bit of a breath and review things, but these principals and administrators are spending a lot of their time in educator effectiveness because it's 30 or more hours of training to get certified before August. So they're very diligent in that, and I just want to applaud them for that. Any questions?
Thank you. Ken?
Just two things. Technology team's been going through the middle school and working hard through the repairs on the 1-1 laptops. Things are going very well. They were able to work over at Woodfield today, just take a little break and work over there and do some imaging and things over there. Today was the second day of class for Sarah Shupke's 21st Century Teaching and Learning class, and they're really working hard in there and looking like they're really learning a lot of different things to transform their classroom and utilizing some of the 21st century tools for themselves and to incorporate in the classroom. So things are going well. Just want to share it with you.
Questions? Thank you. On then to principal reports.
A couple of
Wait. Try again.
All right. A couple of things. I just want to give credit to the kindergarten teachers for the end of the year celebration for kindergartners, and I know that happens in all three buildings. We're invite parents in and just the kindergartners do a little presentation. Each class does with some song, and that happened at the end of the year. We did have a definitely full house, full gym, cafeteria for it. So I thank the kindergarten teachers for their work on that. Also, the PE teachers for the work they do in putting the fitness grant together at the end of the year. Throughout the course of the year, they do different activities to help students meet their goals in bio class, and they help them hone their skills so that at the end of the year when they take the fitness test, they can look at their goals that they've set for themselves and to see if they've met the goals there. So it's a good way of helping students become more aware of lifelong fitness. I would also want to say a big thank you to all the teachers for a different day-to-day that Kathy talks about in our buildings. We have our own day-to-days at the end of the school year where teachers meet in grade level teams and take a look at all of their data for the school year and evaluate, analyze, take a look at what they can do in terms of improvement for instruction or what they've done well in instruction and make plans for next year as well for the students as for themselves. So I'd just like to say, acknowledge those three things this evening.
I too would like to thank the kindergarten teachers, Pam Rolach and Sarah Eggers. They had a very nice end of the year celebration for the 5 and 6 year kindergarten students. Our data team, Shelley Wagner, Chris Agin, Kristen Stock, Pam Wobach, put in a great deal of time and effort during those 3 days. And, some good things have come out of that for us to begin planning for next year. Emily Brown teaches fifth grade band, and she did a great job of getting the fourth graders fitted for their instruments and try out. I got a chance to observe that. It was fun to see them at their novice levels, to say the least. The secretaries, I have to thank Jennifer Lindner and Jessica Anderson. The end of the year is so incredibly hectic, and the two of them did such a nice job, always maintaining a smile as they do. Thanks to them. End of the year, we had a very nice celebration for Donna Colian, as we wish her well in her retirement. And all the kids were involved with that. It was very touching, so it was a nice event.
As long as my colleagues mentioned, they're kindergarten teachers, I don't want mine to feel left out either, so I also like to recognize Ann Armeline and Marla DeVille for their end of the year kindergarten programs and celebrations that they had within their classrooms. And as Shirley did, I also want to recognize Trailside's data team, I guess our data days, there's data team that Mrs. Hobby referred to, but our data days, the last week of school, we always get together. We actually do this every trimester, but we have a couple-hour release for every grade level teacher to come and talk about their students as far as, excuse me, as far as reading and math interventions go. And Sandy Finnegan, our reading teacher, who is here, probably laying low. Sandy's here, as well as Jennifer Linder, who is subbing as our math person. They attend every grade level meeting. They're instrumental in listening to the teachers and working with the reading and math data, coming up with ideas for interventions and modifications. And I also want to mention from the consortium, Jean Moran, who is the intervention specialist, and Greg Burton also attend all those meetings. And they are, Greg is a wealth of knowledge, he's expert on data, and Jean Moran has great ideas as far as interventions and things that we could try. So along with those two, along with Sandy and Jennifer attending every meeting, when the grade level teachers come in, we have a real good handle of where the kids are in math, in reading, what they've done, and where we need to take them, and that information then share with next year's teachers so that we can hopefully day one start the school year running. So I'd like to thank them for that. And also then Kathy mentioned the data retreat that we had June 11th, 12th, and 13th. Really, it was really 3 excellent days. And it's very hard at the end of the school year because like Kathy said, you're kind of ready for some downtime. It was especially the first 2 days were very intense with data, but it was good discussion, good data analysis, and I feel very, very confident that I know Trailside has a real good plan where to go with the data and where to go with the students and the direction for the fall. I'm sure Evergreen, Woodfield, and Foxborough do as well. So I'd like to thank Kathy for organizing that and thank all the Trailside teachers who are on the data team for their 3 days of commitment to the students to prepare for next school year. So, questions from Trailside?
Thank you. I guess I get to just repeat everything, but I'll put the middle school twist on it. Similar things that you've heard across the board. First off, graduation, the 8th grade teachers, I just want to say really thank you very, very much to their 8th grade teachers for organizing, getting that ready, going to action territory and everything that needed to take place with that. Another successful graduation, so thank you for those 8th grade teachers. The day we come back, the half a day, this year the 7th grade teachers and the related arts teachers planned 4 rotations for the 7th graders on that day, and it probably was one of the most awesome days we had in the building on the last day of school. The kids were focused on writing goals for the future, dreams. They were focused on collaboratively working together as a team to try to move a golf ball across the gym, working together as a team, so working on team building activities. They were outside, I know some shooting water balloons, but there was things to do with the water balloons, and once again, it's teamwork, all building on where we're going next year in the building and setting goals. And then we had our station outside where they were doing some dancing and so forth to talk, to learn about just how to reduce stress and different things like that. So we tie those together, and we're going to start the year in whatever month we come back to school. September. I'm sorry, my brain. In September, and build upon those things with the 7th grade team. So thank you to the 7th grade and related arts for that most awesome day at the end of the day there. Once again, we were involved in the data. Want to say thank you to Aaron Dietz and then the 6th grade teachers, because in the work of the intervention teachers in the elementary buildings, and then Aaron working side by side with them to get the information, the data we need so that we can put the kids in the proper positions as they move into 7th grade and make it a smooth transition. So just really appreciate the help we had in the transition with the 6th grade up to 7th grade. Once again, I don't think enough is said what Mrs. Kluppel, the school social worker, and Sarah Signason, my school counselor, just the amount of things they did throughout the whole school year, but at the end of the year, as you're trying to move the transition to the high school with the 504s and the needs of all the mental health issues with our kids as we move up to the high school, and then as we receive the incoming 6th graders, and just the work that those two ladies do with families and students. I just can't thank them enough for what takes place in our building with those two ladies. We wouldn't be where we are without them, along with the teachers. The music department, you heard all the music events at the end of the year, big kudos out to them. And then we have summer band and orchestra going on right now. It's fun to see all the kids coming in. Mrs. Nelson's there, Mrs. Breinmarker's there. And I don't know her name, but she got married this weekend, but Miss Brown. And they're there every day with band going on and little subgroups, and I heard the drums today, and I think they were marching outside today. I wasn't quite sure, but if not, that'll be coming up real soon. So it's just fun for me to listen to those types of things as I work in the building. It just I still connect to the kids, and I like that piece. So big kudos to Joanne in the music department with that. So I think that broadly covers everything that happened at the end of the year. Any questions for the middle school?
And the 4th of July parade this year?
Yeah, 4th of July, Joanne will be there. Yep, it's going to be cool, nice and sunny, no rain, and we don't have to worry about anything, no bugs, no mosquitoes, no gnats, and they'll be just marching down the road real nice, so. Right, Mrs. Nelson?
What state are you in?
So, any other questions? Okay.
Okay. Well, thank you all for your uplifting reports. I really appreciate it. I have something up here. Jeff Wargle, would you please come on up to the front? This is with very mixed emotions. You know, we're not happy to see you leave us, but we do want to thank you for 35 years of dedicated service to the Waterford Grade School District. Jeff, would you like to say a few words?
Would I like to say a few words? Caught me off guard here, Bob. I guess I've been very blessed to be in this district for 35 years. This has been my home away from home, and my faculty knows that. We reinforce that every year, that this is our second family. We spend, from September 1st to June 1st, we spend more time with each other Monday through Friday. The waking hours with each other than we do with our own family. So this becomes our family. It's important that we support each other. And for 35 years, I've enjoyed my experience down here in every building, every position I've been in. It's just been a wonderful place to work, and I've been very, very blessed, and I appreciate that. So thank you very much.
I missed the party. Was it a good party?
It was
Okay, on to reports. We have the Recreation Building and Grounds Committee reports. We have a Building and Grounds Committee report of May 19th. So, board members, you have that. Do you have any questions on that? Then we have the Joint Recreation and Building and Grounds Committee meeting on June 16th. Doug, you chaired that meeting. Is there anything that you would like to comment on?
Basically, we discussed the United Way partnership project and decided we should have a longer building rather than going out across to the other school there. We also had some summer offerings from the recreational department. They talked to us, and we also discussed the outdoor basketball court, about redoing it, and then they would be using what they've ground off of that to fill for the project behind Fox River. And Mr. Jensen noted that the trees in front of Evergreen need to be trimmed up a little bit, the pine trees. That was about it.
I actually did have a quick question for clarification, because I know we'll be voting on the United Way aspect later. When we talked about filling the culvert, was that only if we did both the learning trail and the exercise equipment?
Yeah, that was for the exercise equipment.
Only, okay. I just want to clarify that.
Which they're deciding whether we're out there or by the basketball court.
Okay.
Just a question on the basketball. So there, you come back on basketball with a proposed layout. Is that really ending on that one? Basketball court redo?
No, the layout was approved last month.
So that's how we
And
talked
so
about possibly having that exercise stuff from RAC included with that. We were waiting for feedback whether or not that was includable in the REC department's expenditure.
The answer is no.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think that's where it was left, is it included?
The basketball court pieces, could that come out of the rec department budget?
No, I was talking about the other things that
Exercising
we want to
equipment.
add next to the trail, then we thought maybe not the trail's the best spot, over by the basketball court was a better spot. Then we said, well, how about a layout drawing of how it would be looking like?
That part is coming back.
Yeah,
As far
okay,
as the
that's what I'm
equipment
talking
part,
about.
right?
Yeah.
But what's being voted on tonight is the paving of the basketball court.
Okay, I mean, don't you think that we better wait on? Let me see what she's talking about.
Meaning the assumption that we might have to pay.
Either you have to pay under it, or you have to change where the location is, or something. Is there urgency on paving that?
Yeah, because the rest of the whole Fox River project is hinging on that.
Oh, because we're grinding, put it there.
Yes, yeah.
We're grinding that one for the use.
Yes.
Gotcha, and it's easier for them to do it while we're doing the other.
Right.
Okay,
They're using that for fill, so drop this $2,800 it saved us.
all right. Okay,
It seemed like, my recollection was is that the tentative location of that equipment was going to be a logging pathway, like Tom was just talking about, and they're going to deal with the culvert piece.
On pavement.
Right.
I don't know.
It was-
Well, that's what we said.
It was a couple of options. We
Yeah.
were going to look at both. Ken was going to get us a quote on filling the culverts, and then also we had talked about as an alternative, putting it next to the basketball court. But the conflict there was, it kind of would make more sense to be along the path as far as usage of it versus having, an outdoor gym next to the basketball court. I think, but they were both options, and we were going to kind of look at either one.
And we were waiting for pricing, what it would cost to fill the culvert and that. So.
Right,
So,
exactly.
that's fine. Okay, thanks.
Then we have the Technology Committee meeting on June 16th.
Carly, can you turn on that one and turn the mic to the picture? There we go. Let's see, Tech Committee, we had an update on the grade 3 to 5 recommendation for the device to be used in the classrooms. Had discussion at committee level. Recommendation was Lenovo ThinkPads for the quantity of, is 230 correct, Chris?
No, 110 or 112.
Yeah, I don't know what it's written down, maybe it's 230.
There was 115, and then it doubled
But it was a 115 start?
to start, right?
We're going to use the old ones for the rest of them, we decided not to.
Right, right. No, I don't have an issue with the doubling of it. The question was, is the 230 total now, if that's correct? And
It is.
The cost of 108,900, was the original price on that the 54?
Yes, originally.
Well, I think with the ads,
Oh, with the ads.
very simple, I think they want to put the charging station.
It's an action piece. and everything.
And just to clarify, Bob, what we're looking at there is currently we have 5 old black, we call them the black ones because we have black, and then we have the blues. And the black ones were the original old ones at the middle school. We're going to get rid of those and we're completely selling, get rid of the assets. I think, what, 6, 7 years old by now, Charlie?
Yeah.
The blacks, at least 6, 7 years old.
Yeah, the old bells, I believe.
Yeah, that was before the 1-1 programs, right? And those were moved all the way down, and I'm kind of getting a little tired of the old, let's get the old running when we're purchasing a half a new classroom, doesn't make any sense. So we're gonna get rid of the old ones in the classrooms and put all 10 in each classroom for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Those are the, what's the operating system on those? The Google Chrome. So we're putting Google Chrome in there, and really what they're used for accessing the web. Everything we have is web browsing these days, so that was recommended by the committee. So that's what we're looking at for that. Future planning, we discussed the fiber between Trailside and Woodfield and what to do with that. We have more discussion on that coming up. And then what was the last one? Feedback summary, went through that on the iPad pilot. Questions, anyone?
Yeah. Policy and Curriculum Committee, June 16 meeting. Dawn?
We got updates from the principals regarding the student handbooks, and then from Mr. Yoke regarding the employee handbook. We were discussing the 4K timeline, and we've asked Mrs. Sahi and Mr. Yoke to come back with us in August with financial impact of the 3 options for 4K, whether we would house it within our buildings, or partner with community agencies, and what that would look like for our district, and the pros and cons of those models. And then we talked about policy 341.1, and then talked about some tentative dates for board meetings and committee meetings for the 14-15 school year.
Questions? Thank you, Dawn.
Chris, just on that one, you'll have that back, not July, but August. Okay.
The 4K?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, Personnel and Finance Committee meeting, June 16. Dan?
Yeah, called the meeting to order 9:05, went through the check ledger, nothing standing out in there. Discussion on the fund balance allocation, which we'll have to determine moving some of the funds out and into the OPEB fund. The discussion regarding the exit interview process is left as is. Let's see, discussion on capital project funding. Mr. Yoke brought up that multiple vendors are coming to them with capital project funding, which is actually what there's a sidestep process in the limitation of funding on the state level. If you can show that the funding you're using is for modifying existing structures to increase efficiency. So therefore, you could take some money that you would have been using to increase the efficiency, borrow extra for that, to use for the efficiency, and use the money that you would have done for regular school use. In our case, it doesn't make a difference. We've got everything under control right now, so we directed Mr. Yoke not to spend any more time talking to that vendor since it won't impact us. And we discussed transportation route, adding a route for Woodfield to alleviate overcrowding on the busing. And although we are at capacity right now, we're not above it. We have had an issue where some of the middle school things couldn't happen because we didn't have extra capacity. So last I saw, we've got the bus company working with to move things around and add a different size bus, so that should alleviate it without adding extra room. Correct? Okay. And that was it.
Dan, questions, comments? Okay. Now we come to the citizen input time. Okay, we have 5 signed up. We're going to set a 5-minute limit on your speaking time. And I would tell you that this is an opportunity provided to allow the community to address the board directly. It's not intended to be a one-on-one conversation. If the information you're presenting is directly related to an information or action item that is on the agenda, you're invited to stay and hear the board discuss the item. If your comments need future board discussion, they will be placed on a future agenda. So, first up is April. Come on.